Yo, people, lateness is greatness, and it is a beautiful, beautiful morning or afternoon. I'm still days from the win in against Atletico Madrid in the Champions League. I mean, hey, according to these, man, we were gonna get slapped, tossed up like a rag doll,
That's a lie.
Penetrated, everything.
That's a lie.
But hey, Chelsea's, Tuchel's tricky blues once again stand up to be
Can we just click this for next Wednesday or the Wednesday
enjoying
after?
I'm enjoying myself. Toby, how are you doing?
I'm good, bro. I'm good, bro. I wanted you lot to lose, but I didn't say you lot were getting slapped. That's a lie. Anyone can go check your vid from last week, and anyone can check your vid on the weekend. Twice, I made a statement of reiterating to you that this should not be a game that Chelsea fans should be thinking we're going to go there and get slapped. It's an even matchup, so it could have gone any way. I was shocked that you lot came out with a clean sheet, but then that performance, I felt like you lot controlled the game well, and obviously you got the sick away goal, but also as well, I think it can't go unnoticed how bad Atletico Madrid played. Like, they were shocking, absolutely shocking.
Yeah,
shocking.
Lee, man, how are you feeling? I saw them little tweets. You know what I mean, Matisse? I'm coming for you on the show.
Disclaimer: I think we'd get slapped. Hey, but let me tell you something, right? Because this is how social media has gone over the last 12 months. I know people are bored and all that, yeah. But if somebody gets something wrong, that is okay, you know.
Oh, yeah.
That is okay. You don't have to bombard them and say, but you said. Yeah. Oh, I don't manage Chelsea, so I couldn't give a toss whether they win, lose, or draw. Yeah. I don't support Chelsea. But at the end of the day, Toby's spot on. Atletico were absolute garbage. That's probably the worst performance they've had all season. And
well, I don't know. They've had a ropey time in the league as well. They just lost to Levante.
Yeah.
But they had a lot of
They played better than last night.
Now. You know, I think the last 5 games now, 2 defeats, 2 draws, and a winner.
Yeah, they've been poor. So
they had a massive gap at La Liga, and now it's starting to get tighter because of their recent form. But listen, we have to, for me, from where Chelsea have come from, I have to give them massive credit because they were a team that were down in 10th. Now under Tuchel, they've come up to like 5th, 4th in the race. A team that when we looked at the knockout stages for the Champions League draw, everyone was like, if you get anyone outside of Atletico Madrid, you're sorted. But we got Atletico Madrid, the toughest draw you could possibly get. A team that are top of La Liga, still only took 2 defeats in the league this season. A team with João Felix, Luis Suarez on form. And our team, we were missing Thiago Silva. And that was the main gripe, is that if we don't have Thiago Silva, how is that defense going to cope? I have to give massive credit to Christensen and Rudiger. I thought they were brilliant in shielding that team. I know they wasn't the most attacking, but the first 15 minutes, Atletico did try and come out the blocks.
They could have scored. Your goalkeeper took some mad touch in the first minute, bro. I was like, what's he doing?
It was mad. It was mad. But as we started to get into the game, we started to, calm down a bit. One player I want to address is just how highly do we rate this guy? Because he keeps popping up in moments, in big moments, and delivering. But at the same time, we know he's not a 20, 25 goal season striker machine. Is Olivier Giroud. Lee, you've had him at Arsenal. What do you make of this player? Because we signed him from you guys for 18 million. It was part of that triangle that went to Batshuayi, Dortmund, and then you guys got Aubameyang. But for 18 million, I couldn't have asked for more from him in terms of professionalism, delivering on the big stage and big moments. What do you think of him as a player?
Do you know what? Looking back at it now, we underappreciated him. Yeah, because he did have big moments in him. Yeah, he also had some big sitters in him as well against Monaco. Yeah, but if you actually look at his goal tally at Arsenal, I think he's 17th highest goal scorer in our history. Yeah, 17th. I think Theo is 2 ahead of him. Yeah, and everyone raved about Theo at the time and was knocking Giroud down. When you see some of the goals he scored, man, his technical ability is mad at times. Yeah, he's a big, strong guy as well. And he's massively underrated, I think, man. And I think he's got better the longer he's been in England. Yeah, I think every year, especially since he's left you as well, it seems like he just, every time he plays, he scores. Yeah, that's how it seems. I know he don't, but it comes across like, and the goal last night, I mean, bruv. Yeah, I'm sitting there, and the one thing I want to say as well, can they sort out VAR in the European competition? It took 4 minutes. That was a tough one,
I think, because it was a little nick off the defender, whether it was
but they showed the replay, Matisse, and we're all sitting there going, well, that's offside. Yeah, that's offside. 4.5 minutes later, they've given it, but we still didn't see it because when they showed the next replay after they'd come to their decision, they showed the same replay. 20 minutes later, they then showed us the reverse angle and it's onside because the defender kicked it. Moso
or something. Yeah,
he kicked it. Yeah, so it was like, well, why don't you just show us at home that when you're looking at it, like BT Sport do normally when it's I know they're obviously not running the VAR on this instance, but there's got to be a better way. But bruv, what a goal! Yeah, what a finish! Yeah, because he probably in the back of his head thought he might have been offside. Yeah, but he's still going to jump and fucking and kick it and take his chance. And if it goes in, it goes in. We'll debate it. Yeah. But wait, what a finish! That goal was unbelievable, bruv. And to do it against a keeper of that quality as well. Yeah, that goalkeeper is very rarely
best goalkeeper in the world, I'd say.
Yeah, definitely, and he's very rarely off guard or a split second too slow in moving. Yeah. I don't think he expected that. Number one, and I think when he did hit it, I think he thought he might have put it the other side. Yeah. So if you watch him, he took a split second, then dived. By which time it was in, bro. Mad away goal, masterclass settings, bruv.
It takes a serious moment of magic to beat a goalkeeper of that caliber. He's been brilliant as per usual this season. And Giroud, just before Toby chimes in on his opinion on Giroud as well, I feel like Giroud is just one of those players that just has complete understanding and control of his body. Like, I've not seen someone like him who's, like you said, he's quite a big target man, but he's just got complete control of his limbs. Do you know what I mean? Like, whether it's an overhead kick or the back heel goal for Arsenal against Crystal Palace, I believe, at the Emirates, with the Sanchez cross, and just so many other examples of Giroud just being extremely confident in his ability to guide the ball towards goal, regardless of what angle it's coming at, whether it's a near post flick with the outside of his left boot, or it's got to be acrobatic, it's got to be a freak of nature type finish. He's always backing himself to do it. And true say, he had no right to even attempt it, because everyone thought it was offside. I mean, even the Atleti defenders kind of stood still, and then suddenly, we're going through all these checks and everything. I mean, Toby, what do you make of him?
Of Giroud, I think he's a good striker. I think with Giroud, when he initially joined Arsenal, I remember it was the season after they sold Van Persie, and I know he came off that strong season at Montpellier when I think they won League On, and he scored something like 26 goals. I remember when I first watched him for Arsenal, I said he looked decent, but he looked a player who was always missing big chances. Like, Giroud is someone who's always scored really good goals throughout his career. He's always scored really good goals, but you had to question the quantity. Is he that striker that's going to get you 20 league goals a season? He's not that striker that's going to get you 20 league goals a season. But one thing I grew to appreciate about him is that he's definitely a striker that you would want to have in your team. You may not want to start him week in, week out, but his contribution, maybe 15 to 20, 15 to 19, 20 goals in all comps, you'll take that. You'll take that as your secondary striker. And I remember when Arsenal sold him as part of that triangle you're talking about, obviously Lacazette was still there, and they had just brought in Aubameyang as well. But Giroud was coming off the bench and still scoring goals for Arsenal at that point in time. And I remember you lot had Morata, and when you were signing Giroud for 80 million, I said that's a good signing for Chelsea. 80 million for a proven striker who's going to come in, guarantee you double figures in all competitions if he gets game time. And he's a much better finisher than Morata as well. So for me, he was a player who I didn't rate as much initially, but over the years, I've grown to appreciate what he does, innit? And I know he did have one season under the Sarri season. I didn't really rate him because he was missing in the league. He just couldn't hit a barn door. Like, he was missing everything under the sun, etc., etc. But he was really finding his purple patch in the Europa League. Like, he loved relishing playing them bums. He was scoring like hat tricks versus FC Ragnar or some next thing. But honestly, in the final, he did his thing. He showed himself. Last season under Frank Lampard, it's fair to say that without Giroud, you wouldn't have got top four. And then this season as well, he has his detractors. He has these moments where he's missing big chances. He has his moments where you play the ball long and the ball's coming up in the air and he struggles with the knockdowns and stuff. But if you play the ball to feet, you know his link up is on point. You know he's combining with the wine man. You know that he's got a good first touch, and you know that he's going to offer himself as an aerial presence when you put crosses into the box, because he's going to head that ball. Someone put a tweet out yesterday saying, imagine if that was Tammy Abraham in Giroud's position. Chelsea aren't scoring.
No chance.
Chelsea aren't scoring at all. So Giroud, I like him. It's annoying me that I have to speak this well about a Chelsea player, but contrary to popular opinion, I like football, innit? So irrespective of my views on teams and stuff, I like football. And Giroud
no foreign team shirt today, because apparently
nah.
That's a thing, yeah? Where you're not allowed to wear a foreign team shirt now because you're fake. Apparently, I see that all over social media last week. Not because of you wearing it, but because from other people wearing it. And apparently, you're not allowed to wear other team shirts. So yeah, cancel culture everywhere. But you're right about Giroud, bruv. Yeah. One thing I want to say as well, real quick, is that when he was at Arsenal, it was we were playing tippy tappy football. We never really played to his strengths, you know, and he's gone to Chelsea, and you do. You put the ball in the box for him. We're trying putting the ball in the box, but we're trying to play it to feet, and it's behind him, and he has to try and adjust himself and do some fancy flick or something. No, we very rarely put the ball on his head. Yeah, and he's 6'4", 6'3". He's a big lad, man, and he's got better and better every year for the last few years, man. And like Toby said, if he can bag you 15 goals in all comps, that puts you in good position because. Yeah. For me personally, I think he's better than Lacazette.
Yeah, I think so. I think as a number two, as a number two, you'll have no qualms with Giroud being in your team because from if you're getting double figures from your secondary striker plus the usual amount from your first choice striker, then your quid's in. Man City for years had Sergio Aguero bagging his customary 20 to 30 goals a season, and they had Edin Dzeko bagging 15 to 20 goals a season. I don't think Giroud's as good as Dzeko because I feel like Dzeko's a better finisher, but I've always likened Giroud to like a lesser version of Edin Dzeko in the sense that he knows his role. And when you call upon him to play that secondary striker role, he does a job. It's when you start trying to make him your main choice striker, and he's playing literally every single game, week in, week out. That's when you start to see the deficiencies. That's when you start to see the slight lack of cutting edge.
And the thing is that's a great point I was going to make, is that you don't really get better than Giroud for a second choice striker. And I think, we look at Tottenham, Harry Kane, and potentially needing a second choice striker. I mean, you do have one, but he doesn't seem to get used that much, or I don't know how much you rate him. Same with Arsenal as well. They've struggled in that department with, Lacazette sometimes being hot and cold. Chelsea right now have a really big decision to make in terms of will it be Giroud or will it be Tammy Abraham? Because Tammy Abraham, according to some reports today that have come out, Tammy's not going to sign an extension at this point, looking at the way that Chelsea are headhunting Erling Haaland in the transfer window and looking to sign him. And obviously then you play Giroud in that as well. And obviously Timo Werner's now, I think most of Chelsea fans and Chelsea board have accepted that he's not a lone striker and he's going to have to float as more of a second striker, off a big man. So he's not really going to go into that category. But Tammy is one of those guys who's been top scorer last season, top scorer this season, but still just can't quite get his, he can't bridge that gap between getting good numbers to becoming the clear and out first choice striker at Chelsea. He's very much in between that. And he's obviously not sure if he's going to sign a new deal. What would you do if you was in Tammy's shoes and Chelsea were headhunting Erling Haaland?
Leave. You're not good enough. Let's be real. He knows he's not good enough for Chelsea. Yeah. Chelsea just invested 45 million on Haaland. I mean, on Timo Werner, who, like you said, they have long-term plans of him playing centrally. Maybe if it's by himself or whether it's with I still think there will become a period where Werner will be comfortable to play as a lone striker, but it's clear to see that Chelsea still needs something in that position. So Tammy Abraham, we've just spoken about how Giroud is a good number two. Tammy Abraham, for me, is a decent backup option. But when you have Giroud there at 34 years old, when you have Timo Werner at 23, 24 years old, who the club have invested big money in, Giroud might be going somewhere, but Werner's not going anywhere. Yeah. Plus the need for you lot to obviously sign a striker. If you bring another striker in, that's already two players ahead of Tammy in the pecking order. Yeah. He just needs to leave. Funny thing is, a lot of Spurs fans will hate me for this. I'll take Tammy Abraham at Spurs.
He's a good player, very good player.
I don't think he's a good player.
Dude, that's gotta be the funniest thing you've ever said.
It's the truth. I don't think he's a good player. I think he's, but I don't think he's a bad one either.
Oh man,
technically he's awful.
He's got. I think Tammy's got potential. He really does. The problem Tammy faces is that his age demands game time, and we look at Cavani, we look at Giroud, 34, 33, whatever. If you're going to be a backup striker, you're not usually, a 23-year-old, 24-year-old looking for game time. And if Erling Haaland comes in, he's not the kind of striker that you can say, okay, well, at least he's 28 or 29 and, I can learn off him a few years and then I can take the mantle. He's literally, 19, 20. So he's going to be at Chelsea for, well, you'd hope if we were to sign him, that would be the reason.
Stop mentioning his name, please. Stop mentioning Erling Haaland's name. Stop it.
He's gassing himself up, isn't he? He thinks Haaland's actually going to go Chelsea. Why would he go Chelsea?
We know it would be.
No, he definitely would go Chelsea.
Do you know where he's going? Man City, bruv. That's not even a debate. He's the Aguero replacement.
I've heard Man City are also interested in Harry Kane as well. Because if you look at Man City, they're probably trying to finish the job in terms of Champions League. I think if Harry Kane in any way, shape, or form becomes available, I think Man City will be looking at it.
Who would you rather, and who would cost the least? Yeah, Haaland's got the longevity. Harry Kane can do it now in this league. Yeah, we already know that. We know that Harry Kane can do it everywhere. But Erling Haaland's smashing it in Dortmund in the German league, but he's smashing it in the Champions League. But he's got longevity, and it cost half the money of Harry Kane. Who would you take?
I don't know if it would be half the money. I think Erling Haaland's going to cost minimum 100 million.
There's no for me. There's no wrong. There's no wrong
plus
answer
agent
to
fees as well. Plus agent fees.
For me, there's no wrong answer to that. You could make a case for Kane. You can make a case for Haaland. I don't see the downside in signing either striker. But back on Tammy Abraham as well. I think he should leave, and I feel like, and I remember saying this to a couple of my mates earlier on this season when they were saying, "Oh, Ollie Watkins is better than Tammy Abraham." I think Ollie Watkins is a better all-round player. But Tammy Abraham, one thing I give him credit for, if he's in a team that plays to his strengths, he's going to score goals. It's that simple. As bad as his hold-up plays, as bad as his aerial prowess is, as bad as his technical quality is,
his hold-up plays
he's going to score
this season. Personally,
I don't think his hold-up is that good, but he's going to score goals. Brighton would take him. He would score goals there. Obviously, Newcastle have got Callum Wilson now, so they may not need him, but he'd score goals at Newcastle. He'd score goals. I don't
think he's that low. I think you're underrating him. I think he could easily do a job for a Europa League.
No, I think he is that low. Yeah, I think he is. Crystal Palace. Is Batshuayi better than him? Is Batshuayi better than
Batshuayi?
No, he's not. He's not better than Batshuayi. He's not better than
Batshuayi. Is at Crystal Palace.
I think he works harder than Batshuayi. But this is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, like there are strikers in this league that are better players than Tammy Abraham. I agree with that. But what I'm saying is he scores goals. That's one thing he's done throughout his whole career, with the exception of that dodgy spell at Swansea. Even when I didn't rate Tammy Abraham, he scores goals. So if you put him in a team that create a reasonable amount of chances for their striker, he will score some goals, bro. I know. I'm stating
his all-round game is better than Batshuayi, in my opinion. I test merchants. I don't think so. Disrespectful 16
but
penalty goals last season. Batshuayi is literally just a finisher. Batshuayi's hold-up play is shocking. Batshuayi's game intelligence at times is shocking. But Batshuayi really, for me, is just a finisher with both feet. What else can Batshuayi do in terms of Batshuayi's build-up play is not good. His hold-up play is not good.
Neither is Aubameyang's. All the things you're listed about Batshuayi, Aubameyang can't do either. And you just said they can finish.
Yeah, but we're not putting Tammy Abraham on Aubameyang's level.
Yeah, but Matisse, you're taking offense to it as if I'm saying Tammy's poor. Like, these sides are mid-table Premier League sides. They're not rubbish sides. You're saying, Europa League chasing side. Leicester are Europa League chasing side. He's not gonna. Where's he gonna fit in that Leicester? Everton are Europa.
Leicester are Champions League chasing side right now.
Okay, exactly my point.
I'm talking about like a West Ham or a West Ham type.
Well, you think he gets in over Mikel Antonio? You're mad.
Mikel Antonio up top.
No chance.
You know what?
Antonio's levels.
You know what?
Obviously
West
players
Ham
that are already established at these teams. Otherwise, they wouldn't be where they are. Otherwise, they need a striker. What I'm saying is that is the level that he's at. He's not just because he can't get into these teams because they've already established themselves with the forwards. It doesn't mean he's now a Newcastle. You're talking about a team that is probably going to get relegated. Newcastle.
Yeah, that's his level.
Matisse, I'm talking about strikers.
He got 16 goals last season with no penalties at Chelsea.
Okay, let me answer this. 16 goals last season without penalties and all that rubbish. Yeah, he had 9 in the first month of the season last season, then disappeared for 4 months. Yeah, exactly.
He also picked up an injury at Christmas. Did you know that?
Yeah, but guess what? Where was he from September, October,
Giroud took
November?
over. No, Giroud took over second half of the season.
He is.
I don't understand. I don't understand. And the thing is, I'm not even. As I said, I'm not calling Tammy Abraham shit. I used to think he was crap. I don't think he is crap. He earned a lot of my respect last season. As I've said, and I'll reiterate, I personally think he's a decent striker. But what I'm saying to you is that you are trying to overrate his level, and I'm saying to you that yes, he could play at a club like West Ham, but he could also play at a club like Newcastle. The fundamental point I'm making.
Everyone could. I mean, Newcastle's shit.
But bro, you won't let me finish. The fundamental point I'm making is he can take a step down and he will score goals elsewhere. That's what I'm saying. I don't think he's good. He's not good enough for Chelsea. And as Giroud has told you now, if Giroud is the level of quality that Chelsea are bringing off the bench, then he's not good enough to be a benchman for Chelsea either. So for me, step a couple ranks down and score some goals. I'm looking at these teams now. You're laughing at Newcastle, but Aston Villa have a leading striker currently better than Tammy Abraham. Everton have a leading striker currently better than Tammy Abraham. Leeds, Patrick Bamford, I think they're on similar levels. I think he could go to Leeds and score the amount of goals Patrick Bamford is scoring. But the point I'm making is these men already have established strikers at their team. Even Newcastle, who I mentioned, they have Callum Wilson, established striker at their team. What I'm saying to you is he needs to leave Chelsea and go to a team that actually need a striker. So a team like Brighton now, they don't have finishers at that club. If Tammy Abraham goes to Brighton, he's scoring more goals than Neil Maupay. He's scoring more goals than Danny Welbeck. You're taking it as disrespect. It's not disrespect. It's just facts.
For me, I feel like we're very quick to forget
from last season, yeah? Because I've
seen
enough
we're a bit too quick to forget because the player is still top scorer for us this season as well. So a player that is back-to-back top goal, I'm not saying Giroud right now has had a better game. Obviously, he's just had a overhead kick or bicycle kick against Atletico Madrid. But Giroud is not a consistent goal scorer either. So I don't feel
because he consistently doesn't play.
I don't feel like, of course, they both bring different things. Tammy's more mobile and can run the channels and can get in behind. Is a bit more.
Doesn't run the channels, but he's more mobile. He doesn't run the channels. That's BS.
He can run the channels though. He can't run the channels.
Yeah.
Why can't he run the channels?
Because he doesn't do it. He can do it, but he doesn't do it.
But upon instruction, he doesn't do it because we have wingers. But
he's played for two different managers, and when he plays centrally at times, he's completely invisible. He doesn't run the channels.
Invisible? Nah, he's not invisible.
What do you mean, bro?
He's not invisible, bro.
Right, I've just brought up his stats from last season because you said he got injured at Christmas, yeah? Right, okay. He had 10 goals by September the 11th last season out of the 16 goals, yeah? Right. Then after that, he had an injury that kept him out of the West Ham game on the 30th of November. It kept him out of one game. The next game on the 4th of December, he scored against Villa. He then played against Everton on the 7th, Bournemouth on the 12th, Spurs on the 22nd of December. Boxing Day, he played against Southampton. He played against Arsenal on the 29th. He scored against us. He didn't score against any of the other teams. After that, 1st of January, he played against Brighton, didn't score. Next game, 11th of January, he scored against Burnley. After that, he went 3 games without a goal, didn't play against Man United due to injury, came back against Spurs, and then was out for 2 more games with injury. He didn't score for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games. Then he scored 1. Then he went 2 without a goal. Then he scored 1. Bruv, he's fucking shit. Yeah, let's be real.
He's 20. He's 23 years old.
Yeah, exactly. 23. He should be banging, bruv. Patrick Bamford, is 27. Yeah, Patrick Bamford's been banging for years because he went down the league. Yeah, and he's come back up, and his finishing last night was superb. Yeah,
I don't think Patrick Bamford is better than Tammy Abraham. I really don't think. I don't think he is. I actually don't think he is. And this is what I'm saying. I don't think Tammy's a bad player, but Matisse, stop overhyping Tammy.
I'm not overhyping. Toby, I just said
you said he runs channels, bro. That's not true.
You said that he should drop down a level, and then you told me Newcastle, and I'm saying he's better. He can be at a team that's better than Newcastle. How is that overhyping?
No. I never said. I never
he was a 22-year-old in his first season in the Premier League. How many times have I seen
that? Wasn't his first season in the Premier League, but anyway.
Okay, well,
but anyway,
Swansea were a little bit. Swansea were
the point I'm making is this: Tammy Abraham is not good enough for Chelsea right now. Yeah,
to start. 100%. I agree with you.
Even to start on the bench, he's not good enough for Chelsea right now. I've literally just told you I will take him at Spurs. So this is not me. downplaying Tammy. I've literally just told you word for word, I would have him as a backup striker to Harry Kane. So me saying that he should go to Newcastle is not a disrespect. Yeah. And when I said the Newcastle thing, I even said if they didn't have Callum Wilson, someone like Tammy Abraham could do a job there. I've literally listed many sides that could do it. Abraham.
So like I said, we've gone through all the teams that have established strikers already.
Every team in the league has a better starting 11 striker than Tammy Abraham.
Not every team, but most teams. Most teams in the league right now have a better striker than Tammy Abraham. So when we're saying if he leaves Chelsea to take a step down, I think you're going to have to go for clubs where the first choice striker is either of a similar level to Tammy, or the team just don't have a proper first choice striker. So like someone like Wolves, for instance, I remember back in Wolves' first season under Nuno, when Tammy was even at Aston Villa on loan, and I remember there were reports saying that Wolves are coming in for Tammy in January. I said to my friends that would be a good signing for Wolves, because when Raul Jimenez ain't banging, Tammy can come in and bag the goals for Wolves. Yeah, Tammy Abraham, whether we think that he's the crap player technically or whatnot, he does what it says on the tin, which is he scores goals. So it is not a diss for you to say that Tammy Abraham should take a step down and go score goals at these other clubs. Because when you look at some of these other clubs now, Aston Villa just spent 33 million on Watkins. Is he going to go back to Aston Villa and start?
No, he's not. Watkins is top class striker.
Leeds have got Patrick Bamford, who's banging now, and spent 30 million on Rodrigo. Is he going to go? Are Leeds really going to go out and shell another 30 million on Tammy Abraham? No, they're not. So you have to look at the teams who actually need either a firm first choice striker or a proper second striker. And how many teams in the league need that right now? How many? West Ham, maybe. We need a backup striker. Brighton need a first choice striker. Newcastle could do it with more goals outside of Callum Wilson. Yeah.
Just to address this chat, no one said he was
Maya as well. Come on, man.
No one said he was Chelsea level. We're discussing where he drops to and how far he drops. All I'm saying is it's going to be interesting, because you said you take him second choice at Tottenham.
I would.
I think if Giroud wasn't there, he'd be a fine second choice at Chelsea. And also, just to make this clear as well, Man United and Chelsea both have backup strikers that are 34, 33, right? When those two bow out, Cavani and Giroud, and then when Giroud bows out, so say not this season but next season, so say you sell Tammy this season and then Giroud bows out next season, and then you have no second choice striker and you have to go back into the market. I've seen Morata at this football club. I've seen Batshuayi at this football club. I've seen Higuain at this football club. All these strikers that cost a fuck ton, and then on top of that have massive salaries as well, that have not delivered anywhere near the level of Tammy Abraham in the Chelsea shirt. So
let me just ask you this question here, because I see a lot of people in the chat saying, "Oh, but he's scored so many goals this season." And meh. Do you remember Michu at Swansea? Everyone can have a freak season, you know. Yeah, everyone.
It's 2 seasons where he's got quite.
Let me ask you a question, right? Mitrovic at Fulham, yeah. Are you telling me that if you put him in Chelsea, he wouldn't have bagged the same amount of goals as
Mitrovic? Is no.
Come on, man.
Mitrovic is a joke.
Mitrovic is levels above this guy.
Mitrovic actually belongs in the Championship.
Bro, Mitrovic is a better striker than Tammy Abraham. What are you talking about?
Oh my goodness.
What are you talking about?
Lord have mercy. Mitrovic is a better striker than Tammy Abraham.
100%.
Mitrovic is a better striker than Tammy Abraham.
We'll leave it there. We'll leave it there.
What do you mean we'll leave it there? Mitrovic isn't a bad striker. Bro. Mitrovic isn't a bad striker the same way Tammy Abraham isn't a bad striker. Why does it have to be one extreme?
I'm not even saying extreme. I just said we'll leave it there. I just think
you disagree though. You disagree. I'm not underrating him. I think you're underrating Mitrovic. Mitrovic in his last season in the Premier League, where he was playing regularly for a side that got relegated, he hit like 12 or 13 league goals. So what evidence do you have to suggest
Tammy's been a goal scorer? Tammy's been a goal scorer. What?
Okay, can Tammy Abraham head a ball? He's 6'3", he can't head a ball.
That is his one weakness.
Matisse.
Mitrovic, top tier striker, because he can't head a ball, and his height would suggest he'd be bagging with that head.
I'm looking in the comments, and people are saying Mitrovic can't start at Fulham. If you've watched Fulham's transition to the side that they are now, you understand why Mitrovic doesn't play. He doesn't start at Fulham because 1, he gets injured often, and 2, They play a quick transition based brand of football now, and they need a faster striker. Mitrovic isn't starting because he hasn't got the pace and the pressing to give them what they need up top. That's why you see bums like Cavallero. Cavallero is nowhere near the striker Mitrovic is, but he starts ahead of Mitrovic in that team because he fitted the system better. So when we talk about Mitrovic now, you have to analyze football, Matisse. Mitrovic is 1,000% a better footballer than Tammy Abraham, and if he played for Chelsea, he's scoring the same amount of goals.
I disagree.
100%. He scores more at Chelsea than Tammy. With Timo Pukki.
It really depends on how you play. Of course, if you're going to be doing the first half of the season, Chelsea were doing cross and insular. So of course, Mitrovic is going to score more from heading positions. But just for an overall player,
wait. Why? Of course, Tammy Abraham's 6'3", bruv.
But we are very clear, and I acknowledge that his heading ability is trash. We know that. That's his massive.
And Mitrovic isn't. So what's your point?
But there's areas of Tammy's game which will be stronger than Mitrovic's as well.
Yeah,
just like you said, for the system,
it's just mobility.
He has no pace. Most top teams play with some sort of pace up front to press the opposition.
And I'm giving you that point, but what I'm saying to you is
Mitrovic is like what 2 times. I couldn't even put him anywhere near the level of Giroud. Why the hell would I even take Mitrovic anywhere near this football club when we have Olivier Giroud?
I never said you should take Mitrovic at Chelsea. I never said that.
That's what I'm saying. So you guys are making the case that Tammy can't get on the bench because of Giroud. I'm telling you, Mitrovic.
I'm not saying Tammy can't get on the bench.
At least Tammy brings different.
I'm saying Tammy can't get on the bench because he's not good enough for Chelsea. That's what I'm saying.
Tammy's been getting opportunities this season, so it's a bit.
Yeah, he has, and he scored, and because he's not a bad footballer, but that doesn't mean he's good enough for Chelsea. It's the same. That's why he's not a bad striker, but he's not good enough for Chelsea.
Yeah, I'm not arguing that he's good enough to start for Chelsea because we need a world-class striker.
And Giroud is a better. You have, as I said, Werner, Giroud, and Tammy. So let's even get back on it. Giroud is better than
as a footballer, 100%. Not as a footballer, 100%. As a footballer.
No, as a goal scorer as well, because if he played the games that Matey Boy had played this season, he would have outscored him. That's not even.
Giroud never had that high-scoring goals.
Why does Tammy Abraham start more games than everyone else? Because he's got more pace and more mobility. That's it. Because he ain't better than Giroud and he ain't better than Werner.
He literally works harder and he moves better. That's it. So Giroud has scored.
Use Werner over on the left instead of up front because you don't feel he's play to play.
Giroud for Arsenal. What you said as well. We're talking about Tammy's weaknesses. Like I said, Giroud is a better footballer than both of them. Timo Werner's got deficiencies in his game that he needs to improve on his first touch, etc. His heading ability is not the best either. So, like I said, and Timo Werner's just come from the Bundesliga shitting out goals as well. So, there's deficiencies in all of our strikers' games.
I agree.
Doesn't have the mobility. There is no world-class centre forward in the Premier League at Chelsea. There isn't. That is why they're looking at Erling Haaland.
But no one has said that. But Tammy is the weakest of the lot, and Tammy has 2 years. Tammy's gonna have 2 years left in his deal. Tammy doesn't want to sign a new deal because of those two players ahead of him. And you have just said to yourself how Chelsea need another striker. So 100%. Even if
I just don't agree that he would have to drop down to that level. I would say if I was Tammy, I wouldn't drop down all the way to a Newcastle or Brighton.
So
I'd go abroad.
Yeah, tell us where he's going. Tell us where he's going.
English players. Why do we never mention that they can go abroad? We always assume that they have to stay in the Premier League.
You were talking about in the league, though. You were talking about in the league. We never said that Tammy can't go abroad. Of course he can go abroad. Of course he can go abroad.
Chelsea would have to he's looking to leave. I didn't say where he had to go. I'm just saying he's looking.
Okay, name 5 clubs across Europe that he starts for.
I don't know. I can't just pick it off the top of my head.
He's brought up Europe now, so come on, name 5 clubs.
All right, hold on. Let me.
Of decent stature, of decent level, because you think he can play above Newcastle.
I don't know. I'd have to look through everyone's teams. I'd have to look at what strikers.
Like I said, I think having a substance to back it up.
Start for top half to Europa League level sides. I think he's good enough to do that. Personally,
what, in the Premier League or anywhere?
Just in general, in Europe or wherever.
Okay, so in the Premier League, coming back to what Toby said a minute ago, teams that are floating around that Europa League, well, he don't start in front of Ollie Watkins. That's a fact. Ollie Watkins is cold, bruv. That geezer's unbelievable. He don't even start for Brentford.
But again, Lee,
Brentford, I even Toby's better than him.
But Lee, if Tammy was already at Aston, all right, put it like this: if Tammy was already at Aston Villa, then and we had Watkins, you'd be saying, Watkins couldn't get ahead of Tammy Abraham because Tammy Abraham would be firing at Aston Villa. Do you see what I'm saying?
Matisse, that's the point. But that is literally the point I'm making.
Okay,
we saw
I agree with your point.
We saw Tammy Abraham at Aston Villa on loan. He bagged goals. They wanted to sign him permanently. You lot didn't let them sign him permanently. They've now got Ollie Watkins, who's a better all-round player than Tammy. But me personally, I don't think he's a better finisher than Tammy Abraham. I think they're similar levels in finishing, and I think the added parts of his game, a striker who can actually work channels, who's got really good hold-up play and can actually bully defenders. That's what he does better than Tammy Abraham. And they've just invested 28 million, rising to 33 million on him. Why on earth would they go out and sign Tammy Abraham?
All right, well, just a final point on him. The
Ollie
stats
Watkins
anyway.
wasn't at Villa last season, by the way. He was at Brentford.
26 goals. Watkins at Villa, 19, 20, 25
He
goals.
wasn't at Brentford last season. He was
How
at
am I
Brentford.
underrating him? How am I underrating him? I've literally just agreed with your point. Had they not gone for Ollie Watkins and they had bought Tammy Abraham, it would have been calm. I'm not saying that Tammy is not good enough to play for Aston Villa, but Aston Villa have a striker currently in their team who's marginally better than him. What is the harm in saying that?
And that's the point. The point is saying that he can get into Europa League pushing teams. Well, he can't, based on the strikers they currently have.
This is
all
ridiculous.
Right, we're gonna move on because I feel like we could do this.
This could go on for hours, you know.
It's ridiculous. I don't understand it.
He can't even get in Brentford's team. Ivan Toney is 10 times better than he will ever be.
I'm gonna move on, because I want to get onto the title before we move on to you guys' teams. It's Tuchel. Do you guys still feel like it's a new manager bounce, or are you willing to give a little bit more credit to Tuchel, Toby, now?
What?
Bro, he's a wind-up merchant.
He just
walks away.
He just says stuff. I told you that Tuchel was a good manager, though. I just wasn't convinced by your performances because you were playing scrubs. But I will give him his credit.
Didn't you say last week, Toby, that this would be the test for him to see if he is actually a real top manager?
Hey, listen, on Twitter,
you say that. I remember you saying something.
I didn't say that. I said this is a real opposition now. Stern defense.
Let's see how good he is.
And he's done his thing. So I'm going to give him his credit. I think Thomas Tuchel's a good coach. I wasn't convinced by your performances before, but going away, as bad as Atletico Madrid played, going away from home. And getting a clean sheet, getting a win in a round of 16 tie, and 2 goals conceded in the 8 games he's played. I don't really rate half those teams that you played in that 8-game spell, but you have to give him credit. I don't think he's lost a single game yet at Chelsea, so you have to give him credit.
100%. What about you, Lee? How do you feel? I mean, he's unbeaten so far, 2 goals conceded. It's been.
I disagree with what Toby said about rating the teams there. This league's been mad this season, bruv. Yeah, so we would have expected them to even draw with Southampton. Southampton have lost about 6 in a row.
I told Matisse.
Did you have an accumulator?
Yeah, you actually did expect it. Yeah, you actually did expect to draw.
See, I did.
In the comments, just put you don't rate Tottenham. Of course, I don't rate Tottenham. We're dead.
Now when a team goes and beats another team. So, when Southampton lose 6 in a row, it's still not a surprise that they go and draw with Chelsea, who were unbeaten and won every game pretty much, apart from Wolves, I think. So it weren't a surprise, but these teams can do that, man. I think he's been brilliant so far. I think that within the first training session that he had 1 training session and 2 meetings, I think. And then he had his first game against Wolves. You could see in that first game the style of play. You could tell what he wanted to do. The passing was more incisive. Yeah, the movement was levels higher than it was under Lampard towards the end. So I think he's. Last night was a masterclass, bruv. When you've got Atletico with 6-3-1 formation without the ball, and they've got the 6 in at the back, and then they're plonking 3 in front to cut the passing lanes, bruv. That is not easy to play against,
break
man.
Down. Yeah.
And the thing is, what they've got as a team as well, Atletico, is that as soon as one comes out of the centre-back positions, one of their 4 centre-backs at that time without the ball, as soon as one goes out to press, one drops back in and covers it. So it's still a 6-3-1.
Yeah. And the thing is as well is that the first half...
Atletico, man, that was a great result.
Huge result. I mean, literally, what was it? It was a situation where we managed to limit them from any shots on target, I believe. And then on top of that as well, this super chat here, Spurs and Arsenal are dead food out here. We're going to get to them very soon. But I'm pretty sure these two are very real. They already know. But yeah, in terms of in terms of Atleti, I mean, it was literally, you know, like I said, no shots on target for them in that first half, I believe, as well. We really struggled in that first half to break the lines because Jorginho, Mount, Aspie were, you know, misplacing a lot of passes, but it was part and part, again, the passing just not being good enough and them not being technicians in that respect in terms of being able to break through lines like that with accurate passing. But at the same time as well, the lines were just so, Diego Simeone was like, someone mentioned it earlier, they were like an inflated Tottenham when Mourinho came and played us as well. No, you don't think so, no?
No, like we're Park the Bus FC under Mourinho at times, but we're not that bad. Like that was horrible. That was legitimately horrible. I didn't even watch I'm so happy. I because I was streaming, so I only tuned in for the last 20 minutes. I literally tuned in just as Giroud scored.
Yeah.
And the performance I saw from Atletico Madrid after that was awful, man. Awful. Like you wouldn't even think they were 1-0 down. Like I know Chelsea controlled the game well. Massive credit to Mount and Kovacic, etc. But you wouldn't even have thought they were 1-0 down. They had no idea to break you down. It was terrible. It was terrible. And yes, we're gonna praise. We have to praise Christensen and Rudiger, etc. But you have said it yourselves multiple times. That is your weakest centre-back pairing. And the fact that Atletico Madrid couldn't even put pressure on you lot with those two at the back. Yeah, come on. That's poor, man. That's poor.
And also, just to add on to that, this just makes, I mean, I don't know what you guys think of La Liga now, but this doesn't make La Liga look very good. If you look at, obviously, Real Sociedad last week, getting turned over 4-0 to United. Barcelona, you know, I think, you know, are obviously way off the pace as well. Real Madrid. And then Atletico Madrid as well, turning up like that. They're top of La Liga and they turned up and played that kind of football. I mean, second leg, I'm interested to see how they approach it because as Toby just said, when they want 1-0 down, it's like as if they didn't even make a response. But like I said, Chelsea from this point on need to tie this one up. The
thing is, if there's any team that can claw back a defeat from a first leg, it's them. Yeah, that tie's nowhere near over, man. Nowhere.
You don't think so? You think Atleti can?
Bro, they went to Anfield. They went to Anfield and knocked Liverpool out the other year, man. Don't underestimate them, man. Yeah, just go. I know you're buzzing, and you beat them in that, and they were poor, and they created literally nothing. Yeah, trust me, they will be a different animal in that second leg, mate, because they'll realize, this is a big competition, and they've got to final twice under this manager already, and they've won the Europa League, so they're good in Europe normally. Yeah, they beat Liverpool at Anfield. Simeone was legging it down the touchline, bruv, and then they gave the goal offside, and then they still done them. Yeah, do you know what I'm saying? It's like, don't underestimate it, man. I've seen so many Chelsea fans getting ahead of themselves. Listen, I'd be buzzing if my team had beaten Atletico, yeah. But at the same time, I was buzzing when we beat Barcelona, then went 1-0 up at the Nou Camp, and then Messi scored 4. Yeah, they have the ability to tear you apart if they want to, bruv. They didn't, and you closed them last night. So I wouldn't get too gassed just yet.
Yeah, no, 100%. The job's not done yet.
Yeah, the job is only halfway done, but I think Chelsea are in a strong position because now with you winning and scoring an away goal, they have to come to you and attack, which is going to work in your favor. They have to come to you and do the one thing which isn't Simeone's strong point. They have to come out and throw the kitchen sink at you. And whilst they can definitely,
they don't. They only have to score one goal, brother. And they do.
They do because the reason why I say that is because when you look at last season against Liverpool, they beat Liverpool 1-0 at the Wanda. So really and truly, what they had to do at Anfield was sit deep, defend, and hit Liverpool on the break, and they did that excellently. And even then, Liverpool probably should have beat them on chances, but this match is different. Chelsea are 1-0 up. Chelsea are the home team. Chelsea are the ones who can sit back, control the ball. They have to come at Chelsea. And if they come at Chelsea and do the one thing which they're not particularly the strongest at, which is literally throwing the kitchen sink at teams, then that's going to leave them vulnerable at the back as well. So I think they are capable of coming to Stamford Bridge and causing an upset because we've seen it. We saw them years ago. They dumped you out in the semi-finals. They came to Stamford Bridge. I think it was Diego Costa who scored. They've done it before. So they are capable of beating you, but Chelsea are in the ascendancy. Chelsea are in the driver's
seat. Well, Jorginho's suspended. Mount's
Jorginho's suspended. So is Mason Mount as well.
Yeah, so they're going to go with Kovacic and Kante in midfield.
Yeah, exactly. So those are big problems because I feel like Chelsea Chelsea, their positives from what I saw in the last 20 minutes is their use of the ball. So I feel like they're going to have to use the ball well against Atletico Madrid. But I genuinely think Atletico Madrid have to come to Chelsea and win, which only works in Chelsea's favor because Chelsea are the ones that can take advantage of that easily. It will be much easier. It's much easier for Chelsea to go up against an Atletico Madrid side who have to come and attack them than an Atletico Madrid side who are literally going to come to Stamford Bridge, sit and park the bus.
I think you've made some great points here, but I do think that with Kovacic and Kante, which would probably be the pairing in midfield, I'd imagine.
Yeah, I mean, that would have to be
way too wide open. We see that when you played us, we just walk straight through the centre of your
that's
team.
what I don't like about those two.
Because they both go chasing after the ball.
Yeah, exactly. Both of them like to chase the ball. Neither of them are natural sitters, and that's where you have the imbalance, and then you have space in between the lines. And we spoke about João Felix didn't have the greatest game, but he was. I think he was coming back from the disease, so he might be on better form in that return leg. And obviously, like we spoke about, with the gaps in between the lines between the defence and midfield. I'd be a little bit more worried without the likes of Mason Mount as well, because even Mason Mount, when he plays as the fake 10, he will get back, and there were so many instances where he got back into that midfield pivot and became a 3, and then he will win the ball back and help you get back into shape as well. If you go with a Ziyech or Kai Havertz or a Pulisic, they're more natural attacking midfielders. Will they get back into shape? We don't know. Zion says mad respect to Lee and Tobs, though. Big up to both.
Everyone's calling him Tony today. His name's Toby, brother. I know it's a type. It auto changes it. I know, but it's funny too.
I feel like a bridge, a bottleneck for us small pitch. Yeah, the bridge is a very small pitch as well.
There's a fella in your chat that said Lee wants an upset so bad you can tell.
Yeah. I want to 100%.
I want to upset.
Atletico in my Spanish team, bro. My Spanish team. Them. If I was to have a second team, it'd be them. Yeah.
I want to.
They're the complete opposite of everything Arsenal stand for.
Yeah, they're everything that we should stand for. That's what we should be. We should be the underdog competing with the Cities and the Chelseas and the Uniteds, and that's what they're doing with two of the biggest clubs, albeit probably the biggest clubs in the world.
Yeah. You know what I don't get, Lee? You know what I don't get? Like, and some of the Chelsea fans are saying it in the comments. Are Toby and Lee so desperate to see Chelsea lose? Of course.
Yeah,
why would we want Chelsea to win? Why would we want you to win? Come on, I don't understand it.
This is a rival show. You know
yeah,
hate each other's clubs. That's
I'm
the whole
so
point
confused. What's all this camaraderie bullshit? Why would I want?
We don't
do that. We're all sitting there going, "Yes, I agree with you, Toby. Yes, I."
They always do that on Sky Sports. They're like, "Oh, you should hope that the other British teams do well." Fun all that shit.
Reason?
That's not happening.
Well, people in the comments are sitting there saying you're all agreeing with yourself. This is boring.
Nah.
I'm saying, nah, man. I don't want Chelsea to win a fucking throw-in.
I'm literally praying. I'm summoning the powers from 2013, 2014. Simeone masterclass at the bridge. I'm summoning it. I'm praying on it.
We need to get a West Ham fan involved in this show, bruv, because they're better than us and Tottenham.
We might have to, but then I'd have to add them into the intro as well. It'll be long for me, but yeah, I might have to get that done. People are saying Gilmore could start. I mean, listen, this is the Champions League
too big
knockout stage second leg against Koke.
Let him start, innit? You rate him highly.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
No, bro, you rate him, innit? So let him start. Billy Gilmore won.
Don't play him, innit? There's definitely youngsters at Tottenham that you rate, but you wouldn't throw them into a second leg of a Champions League tie against Atletico Madrid.
I don't speak about them the way you speak about Billy Gilmore.
What did I say about Gilmore that was so offensive?
You were going off on one about Billy Gilmore, bruv. Like,
he's a great young prospect. He's a top young prospect. However, to start him against Atletico Madrid, that would be a bit wild.
It would be wild, but I'm just saying the way you speak about him, you would think that he's good enough to start.
Well, listen, I wouldn't put them in a pivot because again, last time Gilmore and Kante started in a pivot was against Barnsley, and that was nuts. You might have laughing, but listen, if you put them as a free, Kovacic, Gilmore, and Kante together, then potentially maybe I would run with it. But
yeah, I think that wouldn't be too bad. But I reckon Havertz is surely going to start, right?
I have no idea. It all depends on his fitness.
Havertz ain't starting anything, bruv. He's not having it.
Shy Havertz. You rate Nicholas Pepe. Wow, look at this.
Bruv, trust me, yeah. If Gilmore's as good as you reckon he is, then why not put him out there? Do you remember Jack Wilshere? Somebody said it in the comments. Jack Wilshere run the show against Barcelona when he was 18, bruv.
That was a great game.
If Gilmore's that good, he can run the show against Atletico.
Well, listen, if Tuchel, if he plays him, I'm not going to be complaining. Like I said, I rate the player. I just think it would be a bit of a gamble because it's a high-profile game and he's not really had any build-up of games to play. he hasn't been playing. So then to just throw him in and to expect him to be good would be a bit wild. Usually players need to play a bit consistently before they play a Champions League game. But anyway, on to Tottenham. You beat Wolfsburg 4-1 last week. You got them again on Thursday. Surely you're gonna rest.
Today.
You got them today. Sorry, shit. Why is Europa League games on a Wednesday? Why are you cramping on us?
We're the only one playing.
Don't ever do that.
We're playing today.
This is Champions League night. What the hell is going on here?
Yeah, I know.
Right, hang on. Whoa, bro. Why are you playing on a Wednesday?
I don't know. I can't remember. I'm not
cheating.
I've not done
cheating, isn't it?
Thursday night football and you're playing on a Wednesday. What is?
I've not done some research into it, but it must be something to do with COVID. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah,
that's probably mad.
So I mean, I'm guessing you guys are going to rest players because obviously the West Ham game, that was a bit wild over the weekend. How seriously are you taking this competition? Would this be your priority?
Yeah, but this is a priority, but it does not mean that we should do what he did. It does not mean that we should do what he did at United and just tank in the league. Like, I still think, like today, for instance, we don't have to play any of the big players. Same way we didn't have to play a lot of our big players last week. Like, as long as the draws are that fortunate, find that balance between playing maybe a couple first teamers and using some of these poor fringe players that we have, because we know they're poor. But if they can't turn up against a team like this, then there's literally no hope for them whatsoever. And they responded to their credit. They responded last week. Gareth Bale showed us a little something against Wolfsberger. Lucas Moura scored that goal. Blah blah blah. So 4-1 up. There's not really much more I can say on this game apart from
4 away goals as well. Like
4 away goals, yeah. So don't play. I don't want to see any of the first teamers. I don't want to see Son touch the pitch. I don't want to see Kane touch the pitch. I don't want to see Ndombele touch the pitch. I don't want to see Højbjerg touch the pitch. I don't want to see Reguilon touch the pitch. I don't want to see Tanganga touch the pitch. I don't want to see Alderweireld touch the pitch. That's about 7 players I've named. And then Gareth Bale himself
should be playing for me.
No. I don't want him to start. Really? I want him to come on maybe in the last like 20, 25 minutes to get some more energy in them legs, because I want him to start against Burnley. And he's not in a position now where he can start 2 games in such quick succession when he's playing a lot of minutes. So I don't want to see him start. I want to see him come as a sub. Same for Ali as well. Same for Dele. I would like to see him start this game today and come off maybe, I don't know, like 60, 70 minutes left or something. I mean, 60, 70 minutes gone. And yeah, just wrestle the key players, man. Like, this isn't a game where we need to exert any major energy. Just get the job done, get the win. I don't care if it's 1-0, I don't care if it's 2-0. Just win and don't overexert. Don't make this harder than it needs to be. That's it.
Yeah, because I remember you tweeting you don't know what to expect from this Tottenham team anymore, so there's no point expecting anything. That West Ham game was a bit nuts from you guys again. Like, you are kind of free falling in the league a little bit. Are you not?
A little bit, bro. We've lost 5 in our last 6 Premier League matches.
A little bit.
I was trying to be nice. We were 15th.
What's that?
Do you remember when you were top and we were 15th?
Yeah. And now look at the gap. What's the gap between us and Arsenal now? It's crazy.
2 points.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. 2
points. Obviously, your drop has been mad. It's been like Southampton.
Yeah,
they were top in December, and now look at them.
Obviously, we got a game in hand, but still, like, game in hands don't really mean much unless you actually go out and win it. One point ahead of Leeds. Wolves, who have been pants for like 2 months, are 3 points behind us.
Yeah,
that just puts into perspective how bad we've been.
So, and like I said, we already know your thoughts on Mourinho. There's literally no point in even asking, because we know you would sack him today if you could. Do you know what I mean? 100%, at this point,
100%. But it's not. I would sack him today, but it's not just Mourinho.
Yeah,
sacking Mourinho is only half the issue sorted. The other half is the decision making at the top level, the investment in new players, and the blind loyalty to dead players in our team. There's so many players in our team who need to be sold, and they're still here. So if Mourinho gets sacked and this new manager comes in, and we don't get it right at the top, and we don't eradicate our squad of all these duds, then the new manager is going to be anchored with the same set of problems, and there's going to be a cap on what he can do. But the difference between that new manager and Mourinho, ideally, is that new manager will get these bunch of duds playing way better than Mourinho has, because as bad as some of those players are on our team, they are not 9th place bad. Yeah, they're not. Our squad is not 9th place bad. Our squad is not 5 losses in 6 bad, and that's what he's making it look like right now. So he has to go.
So someone's saying Hassenholt, but again,
I'll take him at Spurs.
You take him
all day long. I'll take him at Arsenal as well.
At Arsenal as well.
Yep.
You're fully gone in it with Arteta. You're just like, yo, it's
done.
No,
I didn't want him, and do you know what? I never want Arsenal to lose. But if we lost on Thursday, he's got to go. Yeah, really? I'm not saying I want him to lose. If I had the choice of win the game or Arteta gets sacked, yeah.
Don't say it, Lee, don't say it. They'll crucify you.
No, I'm taking the win the game because I don't want Arsenal to ever lose a game. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I don't ever want Arsenal to lose a game. Yeah, but at the same time, yeah, Hasenhüttl has been spanked 9-0 twice, and I'd still take him at Arsenal because I think everything about that guy tells me that he's tactically decent. Although, listen, you can get spanked by anyone in this league. We've seen that all season, yeah?
Oh, yeah, we've seen it before.
To be spanked 9-0 by Man United, yeah, was a bit of a madness, yeah?
And Leicester as well, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, and Leicester. But do you know what? I've seen a style of play from his teams. I've seen the tactics that he uses and employs in game. When the team are losing, he can switch it up real quick. Yeah. When they're winning, he switches it up. The fact that he breeds the youth through the team. Walker Peters, I know he didn't get him from Southampton youth team, but he come from Spurs. But he's been fantastic this season. Yeah, and some of the other kids that they've got in their team that get game time as well, with Ward-Prowse and others as well. But I just look at him and I think he'd be perfect for either Arsenal or Tottenham. Yeah, he would have been decent for you lot. And I think the fact that he's Austrian, German-speaking Austrian, yeah, and kind of put Leipzig on the map.
Yeah.
Well, for me, that's somebody that I think, wow, you put Leipzig on the map, look at what they're doing now. Yeah, you can maybe come in and transform us, yeah, and get us playing. Like, I don't give a shit if we play sexy football or not, to be honest with you. I like the way he plays, but I wouldn't care less if we just fluke 1-0s every week, bruv, and defended properly. Yeah, and people are saying, well, you're kind of doing that now. Well, we're not, are we? Yeah, we're not. We've lost more games. We've lost more games this season than we did last season, and there's 13 to go. I see some mad stat, yeah, for this manager to equal Arsene Wenger's worst points tally in the Premier League, he needs to win 9 and draw 2 out of the last 13. Yeah, that's like title winning form.
Yeah,
it ain't nothing. And that was his worst season to equal it. Yeah,
that's bad.
If he loses on Thursday, he better be sacked by Friday, bruv. Trust me.
And then my thing with Ralph as well is he's outperforming the quality of his team. And this is the one thing me and you said on the Big Six. Do you remember when we were pamming Saeed? When he
said Southampton had a better squad.
Yeah, and then Arsenal. And I said it's absolute rubbish, because if you look at Southampton's squad man for man, you'd struggle to name even 5 players that would be starting at any top 7 club. Any top 7 club. So
Walker Peters gets in our team, definitely. Danny Ings are getting our team over Laka. That's 2.
Yeah.
Ward-Prowse gets in our team. That's 3.
Maybe.
Then what's his name? The centre back. What's his name?
Vestergaard.
Yeah, he gets in our team over Holding. He's better than
Holding's crap. That's 4.
Yep. Other than that, the rest of the
this is what I'm saying. So for me, the reason why I've got like not a hard on, but the reason why I keep mentioning Ralph Hasenhüttl is because he is very much not only a modern coach in terms of the style of play, either by defending on the front foot, but like Lee says, tactically he's astute, and he is someone that's good at maximizing what he has available. Like Theo Walcott is rubbish. And for him to get some semblance of a tune out of Theo Walcott is crazy. Nathan Redmond fell off a cliff. And for him to even get even the small doses of sporadic form that he gets from Redmond is ridiculous. Shea Adams, Danny Ings, even Vestergaard now. Everyone's talking about how
everyone thinks Vestergaard's the best player since spread.
Absolute
from before, when Hasselhoff wasn't there, if you saw Vestergaard
horrible.
Horrible.
Oh, yeah, he was there's a good player in there if the right coach comes along.
Exactly. Everybody now thinks that Vestergaard is shit now. It's because of the coach.
Exactly. And this is what I'm saying. And this is why I'm saying, like, a good coach can mean so much, even to poor players, which is why I want Mourinho out the door. I want this guy out the door, because fundamentally, Pochettino had the same skill that I'm talking about with Ralph Hasenhüttl, same way Brendan Rodgers has it, same way I'm trying to think of a manager, Jurgen Klopp, etc. The best managers in world football, they know how to maximize what they have available.
Yeah, Look at what he's doing at Leipzig. I know they're not going to win the league. Yeah, but would you say they're better than Dortmund, man for man? That's debatable, isn't it?
No, I wouldn't say they are. I wouldn't say they are.
It's some of their players might be, but why are Dortmund not second then? Because they haven't got a better manager.
Yeah.
You know, the manager's got the most out of what he's got. He's squeezing it out like a sponge, bruv. And Hasenhüttl does that and has done that with every team he's been at.
Are you confident? Because you've got Benfica in there 1-1.
I'm not confident one bit, bruv. Listen, winning in Europe last week weren't for everyone, was it? Do you know what I'm saying? And the thing is, this manager knocked us out at this stage last season to Olympiacos in the round of 32. The season before we got to the final. The season before that, we got to the semi-final. And we should have won that. We should have beaten Atletico at home. We hammered it, man. And it's kind of ironic that we lost to Olympiacos last season, albeit it was at the Emirates. We got knocked out, but we're playing in their stadium on Thursday night because it's in Greece. Yeah. So, and do you know what? I think we will get through. But I wouldn't be surprised one bit if we lost, because do you know what? Their manager was close to being sacked. Yeah, if he had lost to us, he would have been potted. Right?
The way that your club has fallen, man, it's mad to see. Like, you've gone from a team that under Wenger, even though he still had to leave, like anybody who remembers that time will remember it. But you were going from qualifying for the Champions League every season to now you're qualifying for the Europa League every season, and you haven't even won the Europa League yet. I'm like, how the hell have you guys been in this competition for 4 years straight and not won the competition yet? It's not hard to win.
And do you know what? It's getting harder to win. Yeah, because the quality of teams in it now are better. Yeah, because it does give you that Champions League spot now. Yeah, so more teams will take it seriously. Whereas before it was just let's just get knocked out of that. Some of these teams were a hindrance. Yeah, but I mean, if you look at this season, both the Milans are in it. Tottenham, Leicester, United, us.
Inter Milan aren't in it.
Oh, sorry, AC Milan, not Inter Milan. Who else is in it this season?
I think
a lot of English teams in
Goldberg are losing, but they're in it. They're a decent team. Villarreal under Emery, they're going to go far in this, I think. Yeah, Ajax are in it.
Emery's a specialist in this competition.
Bro, Emery beat Salzburg 2-0 away from home last week.
Yeah,
come on. Yeah, so an average age of 33 in his squad.
Someone said Ajax as well, Napoli.
Roma, Napoli are still in it. Lille are top of league on, and they're still in it.
Rangers is another one. They're not to be fucked with.
Rangers are on some form as well with Steven Gerrard.
But they drew 4-4 the other day, I think.
Roma still in it as well. Leverkusen.
Yeah, this is looking like this is going to be fun to watch, man.
That's what I'm saying. This is better to watch than the Champions League for me, because the amount of quality teams that could go and win it. Whereas you know that in the Champions League, there's literally 3 teams that are going to win it. Yeah, the rest ain't winning it. Yeah, whereas this, you could pick any one of them and just go, oh, I'll go with that one, and they've got a chance to win it. Yeah,
four English teams left. That is going to be fun. That is going to be fun to watch.
And Glasgow Rangers as well. So if we all got through. Yeah, we can then all draw against each other. Do you know what? I do think we're going to win. Yeah, I do think we're going to win tomorrow. But their manager.
You've got an away goal.
We got an away goal, so we were kind of in the driving seat. But their manager played a stupidly high line against us. Yeah, with a back 3 instead of a back 4. They've been playing back 4 all season, and they went with back 3. They had Vertonghen and Otamendi in a back 3. Right, and they were sitting on the halfway line. Bro, the amount of times we were offside in the first 20 minutes was a joke. Literally 10 times or something stupid. Yeah, Saka was about 4 of them inside 5 minutes. I was like, why are you offside constantly? But yeah, I do think that they're going to change their formation back to what they've been playing all season. They're not going to go with a 3-5-2 or whatever it was. Yeah, and they caused us a few problems when it went 1-1. They should have scored. Leno made a great save. Yeah, they didn't really offer anything other than that. But I think that they've got players in that team that can hurt us. And the only saving grace for us, is the fact that Man City didn't slap us. Because if they'd slapped us, I think that would have totally demoralised everyone. Yeah, and it wasn't because they didn't want to. They were taking the piss in the end. But I do think we'll win. And I do think we're going to get Emery in the next round. And he will knock us out. Then he'll be sacked. I'm calling it now. I've thrown my hat into the ring.
So you think Villarreal are going to knock you out?
He'll knock us out. If we get Villarreal, he'll pull his pants down, bruv. Because tactically, he's so better than this manager, bruv. Go and have a look. You probably know Villarreal's squad. I don't know if you do. But they've got Capoue and Parejo in midfield. They're in their 40s, bruv. They're not. They're not far off. Yeah, they've got Coquelin in there. They've got Foyth there. Yeah, they've got Carlos Backer. He's got to be about 37. Yeah, it's a joke. And that man has lost 3 games with that squad this season.
Yeah,
we've lost 11. And look at our squad. You know, people can say the Spanish league's this and the Spanish league's that. Well, you still got to fucking win the games. Yeah, you know. And in Europe, would you put it past Unai Emery to get to the final with Villarreal? Because I wouldn't. Yeah, he might get knocked out tomorrow. He might lose a 2-goal deficit. I don't know, but he's got 2 away goals. Yeah, but at the end of the day, we ain't winning it. We ain't winning it. So what does
you don't even think you even have a chance?
No chance. Yeah, and I'll tell you why we've got no chance, because this manager's tactics are in the gutter. When he comes up against a manager who's tactically better than him, which is most of them, they pull his pants down, bruv. Literally pull his pants down.
Man City on the weekend was like a training session. I was like, you guys are 1-0 down. You're gonna
find this performance I've seen from my team.
It reminded me a bit of like
your performance at the Etihad was equally as spineless, to be honest.
At least we had a go. The Edison had to make some saves in that game.
Yeah, in the first half,
Yeah, second half we did nothing. But at the weekend, they should have scored. Man City inside 40 seconds. Sterling scuffed one at the back stick, and I was like, "Here we go, it started already." Yeah. Then how can the 5'7" guy outjump your centre backs? Rob Holding didn't even know where he was, bruv, and he was Sterling was touching him, and then just bounced off the back of him. Then they should have scored again after that. Gundogan slipped as he was about to score as well. You know, the keeper made a couple of good saves. Like, real talk, they were in first gear and that could have been 6. Yeah,
the whole game was a training session. Let's be real. The whole game was a training session. This is
the thing. Pep will come out in the build-up and sit there and say,
hype up Arteta.
Yeah, hype up Arteta. Arteta thinks, right, cool, yeah, I'm the man. Yeah, and then he just bro, they didn't even play with a striker. They put De Bruyne up front, and then they got that comfortable with it, they took him off.
He's only just come back from injury, to be fair.
Yeah, it's mad though, bruv. Like, and the thing is, like, you when you look at Arsenal this season, this is supposed to be the best young coach in world football. That's what everyone keeps telling me. Yeah, everyone keeps telling me that this guy Pep said this, Wenger said that, Poch said this about him, so and so said this about him. Well, can somebody tell me where they're getting this from? Because, bruv, his tactics are shit. Yeah, his game management is shit. His substitutions at the weekend, we need a goal. Yeah, we need a goal, and you're bringing a sub on with 16 minutes to go. Your first sub of the game. What, in 74th minute? Yeah, what are you doing? Like, and we still didn't have a go. Like, then you go to some of the players that he brings on. Like the other day, he brought on Mohamed El Neni. We needed a goal. You bring El Neni on. What are you doing? Yeah, like, I just don't get it, mate. Martinelli, people can say, oh, well, he's not fully fit. Well, why has he been in 8 squads in a row then? Why did he start against United and then get hooked at half time? Yeah, when he was our best player at that point. You know, he hasn't featured since. Where's Eddie Nketiah? We got a bid from West Ham. Never seen him in the squad since. Yeah, and he's down to the last year of his contract.
Is a player that you should really just cash in on at this point. Like,
he's down to the last year of his contract in the summer.
Oh, this summer?
Yeah.
So why didn't you cash in? I have no idea. That doesn't make no sense. Oh my God. Arsenal are doing this again, yeah? How many times have we seen it?
If we don't get rid of Eddie, before the 30th of June, he's into the last year of his contract, yeah? Right, so what Eddie's going to do is, if we don't get rid of him, he's going to go, boy, fuck you, man. I'm going to sit here for another year.
You're going to get no money for him.
Signing on fee, bruv.
Yeah. But he's like, the thing is that you can clearly see he's nowhere near the ability of Martinelli. So why would you not just cash in on him? I don't understand why. What you guys are waiting for.
Martinelli, in his last 5 starts as a striker, has scored 7 goals. All 5 of them.
Close. It's not close.
5 of them were under Unai Emery.
it's not even close. I don't even know of Arsenal anymore, man. Honestly, I mean, like I said, for me,
it's a joke. And the thing
is, when I'm seeing that the centre backs are not jumping against Raheem Sterling in 2 minutes, I'm already know it's game over.
Do you know what? That angered me, yeah. But do you know what angered me more? Right? Is Pepe's done all of his good work this season on the left wing, and Saka's done all of his good work on the right wing. So I know, tactical genius, best young coach in the world. I'll put Pepe on the right, and I'll put Saka on the left.
Why?
Their weak point, the only weak point that they have in their team, Man City, is Zinchenko. Yeah. You can get at him. You can't get at the rest of them. You can get at him, yeah? So we decide to take our player of the season off of that wing and put him on the left. It makes no sense, bruv. Yeah. The quicker he's sacked, the better. The fetish and the love affair for this manager is a joke. Yeah, based on absolutely nothing. At least Wenger, I can kind of get it. He had credit in the bank for a decade, yeah? I get that, right? But what's this guy actually done? Yeah, what has he actually done to warrant the level of God status he gets with our fans? I don't get it, bruv.
I don't feel like I think I said this on the Big Six. I was shocked that they allowed him to keep the job, to be honest. And I think similar to Spurs, there's a personnel issue at Arsenal that we all know needs fixing, but I don't necessarily think the management that you have right now is the best management possible to get the best out of the players you got right now and the new players to come in. So I don't think Arteta's an awful manager, but I don't think he's good enough for Arsenal. Like he's clearly a smart guy.
He's a smart guy, but he's still
worked under. He's still learning, but I just think this is a job. It's a job too big for him. It's not
a job for a manager who's learning. You know what I'm saying? It's very similar, I guess, to what we had at Chelsea.
Like you lot need a big rebuild.
We needed Ancelotti, bruv. That's what we needed. We needed to come in and say, bang, we're having some of that. And the thing with Ancelotti, is people think that because he didn't win anything at Napoli, he's washed up. Bruv, he finished second with Napoli.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. In a league that Juventus dominated, by the way. And only now since Juventus have hired someone that's not a top manager have they fallen. You know, it just goes to show how important a manager is, because Juventus felt like they could just win leagues by given, and then they appoint someone who's not ready as well, another manager who's still learning in Pirlo, and then bang, look at them, they're nowhere near it.
Look at Granit Xhaka's comments today in the press conference. He said he sees his long-term future at the club and adds, "I'm not the kind of guy who's scared to play in front of fans." Yeah, you were the kind of guy who was scared when we were 2-0 up away to Watford, mate. Yeah, because you came out and said in your post-match interview, "I felt we were scared today in the second half." Yeah, this is the same guy who said a couple of weeks ago when he scored the one goal he'll get for the season, like he does every season. I'll do my talking on the pitch. Yeah, he reckons that he's had a good season as well. He reckons that he's a very important player in the team as well. He said, "I'm a very important." Like, who is this guy? Who do you think you are to sit in a press conference and say I'm a very important player in the team at the moment?
He's one of those players that on my head he should have been a long time ago.
Slap him, bruv. I can't stand him.
Xhaka.
I'd get a wet fish, bruv. And a wet trout, bosh.
If I look at one of the players that are stopping you from progressing to the next level, he's one of them.
Him and Bellerin,
people like this who've been at the club for so long. Even Holding getting a new contract didn't really make no sense to me.
Brother, I said at the start of the season, and I'm sticking with this, and I ain't changing my opinion on it. If we had Maitland-Niles at right back, again, we rejected a bid from Wolves. He's never been seen since, and now he's on loan at West Brom. Makes no sense. Why didn't we take 20? We could have had Saliba next to him. That right side of centre back and right back would have been a lot more solid than Rob Holding and Hector Bellerin. Even though we've only seen Saliba for 45 minutes, I can tell you now he's better than Rob Holding. Physically, pace, heading ability, everything he's levels above, and I've seen him for 45 minutes. We have Gabriel next to that, and then we have Tierney. Your backup is then Cedric. On the right hand side. And then you go and get another left back if you want to get Kolasinac out the club. Midfield, we could have gone with Partey, which I know he's been injured a lot, but would he have been injured if we'd actually signed him before the transfer window was shutting? I don't know.
I don't know why Arsenal players always seem to get so, like, he didn't pick up barely any injuries at Atletico.
He's been injured 4 times at Arsenal than he has in his whole career.
I don't know what's wrong with your medical team.
It's mad, but we could have gone with Partey in front of that, and I guarantee you now, right, that if we
Partey, I think it's just the league, him adjusting to the pace and the rigors of this league.
Potentially,
it's taking a toll on his body.
Position to stay fit when you go to this league, because it's more demanding in midfield than any other league. You get time and space on the ball more so in other countries. Here, they're on you, bruv. They're 3 players on you within a millisecond. And like when you're tracking all over the place, covering Granit Xhaka's deficiencies, you're doing 2 man's work. So he's going to get injured because at Atletico, he had Saul next to him. Or Koke.
The Xhaka one is so weird because like he came to Arsenal as this pass master, and in his first season you could see a nice array of passing. Like the thing is, he has the capability to pass well, but the one thing I've clocked with Granit Xhaka is he can't pass well under pressure, And in this league, you are under pressure on that ball. And that's what separates the good midfielders from the average or poor ones. Can you do it under pressure? Thomas Partey can do it under pressure. Granit Xhaka, the minute he gets pressed, that ball's going straight back where it came from. It's going sideways. It's going anywhere but forward. And I think that's the hindrance. That's the hindrance on Thomas Partey, because he's got a partner like that next to him as well in the Arsenal team.
But when you come to the end of the game and all the Xhaka sexuals on Twitter are putting out their stats, bruv. Oh, we have 94.222469 times pi passing accuracy. Who fucking cares? Yeah, how many of them were over 15 yards and forward? How many of them were opportunities that broke the lines? How many of them were opportunities that then led to the next ball being an opportunity? Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? What are you doing? How are you passing with purpose, or are you not? None of these stats tell you that, yeah? But it looks good on paper. Oh, how can you disrespect him? He's got 94%. Who gives a fuck? He's shit. I do not need to look at stats to know that geezer is one of the worst footballers I've ever seen at this football club. Yeah, it's not even a debate. Yeah, John Jensen was better than this guy, by the way. John Jensen. Yeah, Ray Parlour is 20 fucking million times better than Granit Xhaka. Yeah, and everyone used to take the piss out of Ray Parlour. I'd take Ray Parlour now.
Did they call him again? Something the Romford Pele.
The G, bruv. Man scored a screamer against that lot in the final, bro. It's only Ray Parlour. Yeah, pick that out the net. And then Freddie bounced your captain, leader, legend on the deck, bruv, and scored another screamer.
No comment. No comment. I just want to end up on this final super chat here, which is basically, will any of your teams win anything this season?
This is going to be quick.
It's an interesting question. Someone just asked me as well where the Battle of North is. Battle of North will return next week, because obviously yesterday was Champions League for Chelsea, and I have literally no space in terms of, I don't want to overkill in terms of upload. So we've got the Man United game now to focus on. So then we'll bring it back for next week.
Look at him.
No, I don't want to overdo it. My channel's still like this. I'm not a Rants or a Lee or a Turkish where I can just like
you're too busy uploads a day. You're busy modelling, bruv. That's what it is. We get it, bruv.
Toby's gonna be joining me soon anyway.
Hecky B.
Toby's gonna be joining me. Toby's gonna be joining me.
We'll see.
I mean, quick answers, I guess. Can any of our teams win anything?
Spurs can win the Europa League, but will we win it? I'm not so sure, and I don't think we're going to win the League Cup final. But we're in a final, so there is. I don't think we'll win anything, but there is a chance we can win something this season as a Spurs fan. I have to be at least a bit positive that we can win something. You can't be in a cup final and still be in the knockout stages of a winnable competition and not have some sort of optimism. But I wouldn't expect us to go on and win those cups. Yeah.
Man said Parlour's not better than Xhaka. Well, you obviously didn't see Ray Parlour, bruv. You're mad. You are mad.
Someone actually said as well,
Arsenal
are very organised, good build-up, good signs. I don't know if he's trolling I Test Merchant, but
I think he must be.
You know what? Every single non-Arsenal fan has said that to me pretty much, yeah. Oh, you're very organised. Yeah, that's because we put everyone in the box and don't attack, mate. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, oh, but your defence is better. Yeah, that's because we stick everyone in the box. Yeah, we're crap. We're not going to win anything. Yeah. This manager, his best opportunity to win a trophy, he threw it away because he wanted to rest some players for the next 4 league games, of which we got 4 points. Well done, mate. Yeah, we're not winning Europa.
The FA Cup, yeah. Someone just said anyone can win the FA Cup, but Arsenal are not in that, are they? So,
yeah, well, we can't win it because we ain't in it. And
so I think it's a unanimous decision. The panel, we've all said that we're not winning anything this season.
I mean, no, I haven't answered. I think we can win the FA Cup, to be honest. I think the FA Cup is in our reach.
Who have you lot got next? Everton?
Who have we got next, actually? I'm not even sure.
Man City's still in that. I think they are.
The big teams are certainly still in that. I think we've got Sheffield United next.
Okay, so this is what, 6th round, right?
Yeah, 6th round. So then after that,
you can. Once you get, you should get past. Once you're in the semi-finals, I wouldn't shut you down for saying you.
Yeah, Chelsea got Sheffield United, Man City. Man City got Everton, Bournemouth have got Southampton, and Leicester got Man United. You can win.
Yeah, I wouldn't shut down Chelsea for winning the.
Win it. We're not favourites, definitely not. But we
can win that. It depends how deep Man City go because I think Man City
Champions League. Maybe if they prioritise,
they're into the real latter stages of the Champions League.
Yeah.
I know they've got the best squad, right, and they can compete on all fronts, but
yeah,
they'll prioritize Champions League over FA Cup.
Oh, they as well as they should as well. Someone said the tie of the round is definitely Leicester versus Man United. That's gonna be a cracking game, actually.
Yeah.
I look forward to that. Well, people, we're gonna wrap up. It's been a great stream. We've gone from Tammy Abraham to Tottenham woes to Arteta out. It's been a brilliant one as per usual. I mean, that Tammy debate was hilarious. I can't wait.
Yeah, from you, because you're always overgassing him. And,
I'm not overgassing him.
You overgassed him, and Lee was downplaying him too much.
I'm not overgassing him. Lee just called the
shit. I know strikers, bruv. Do you know what? And do you know what? I'm going to say this, yeah? I know strikers. Nobody knew about Gabriel Martinelli, yeah? Nobody. Go back to my stream, and I said, this guy is going to be a world-class striker, bruv. Yeah, we signed him. I said, this guy is going to be a world-class striker. I was telling people 4 weeks before we signed him that we're signing him and he's going to be elite, bruv. Yeah, I know strikers. Tammy ain't a striker, bruv. Yeah, not for a Premier League team anyway.
Well, anyway. With that, Toby, let them know where to find you, bro. What a stream.
TapinTobs, bro. YouTube channel, help me grow it. So hit the subscribe button. It's the same name on Twitter. If you want to get at me, if you want to have a Twitter fight with me, if you want to show some love, I'm there. So I'm ready for you, whether it's love or war. And it's the same name on Instagram as well. So yeah, TapinTobs, TapinTobs.
Love that. Link is in description, people. Make sure you go and subscribe to Toby. And Lee, you already know who Lee is. Rat Army in the building. Let them know where to find you, bro.
I'm going to be going live in half hour, doing the most fraudulent manager in the league's press conference reaction. I'm sure you come and check that out because I'm going to rip him in a minute.
Press conference ain't even happened yet.
I've seen some of the transcripts and I'm like, this guy, man, seriously, get me in a press conference. I'll either be arrested, yeah, or he'll actually answer some questions.
Banned.
But yeah, Lee Gunner on YouTube. I'm just going to plug everything, bruv. Yeah, Lee Gunner on YouTube, Lee Gunner 82 on Twitter, Lee Gunner 82 on Twitch, Lee Gunner 82 on Insta, Lee Gunner AFC on Facebook. I've got Discord now as well. Go and check that out. The link's in the description of my videos. Yeah, man. Anything else? OnlyFans? No, I'm good. Thank you for having me back again, man.
Man, it's a lovely weekly show. I love it. It's a mix between banter and obviously tactics and knowledge. So I love it. And yeah, people, for me, I mean, we'll be back tomorrow at 11 a.m. All you can eat Chelsea with Miz and Eunice. And then after that, we're hoping to get Alexis Nunes on from ESPN. Obviously, she does all the journalism for Man United, so we got the game coming up there. Flex, hopefully, and then then if we don't beat Man United, I'm going to be slaughtered by Rance and Saeed on Monday. So I look forward to that as well. People, it's been a great stream. Yeah, literally, I've set myself up for carnage there already. So we need to win that game or it's going to be peak for me. People, see you guys later. Thanks for joining us again. And like I said, keep enjoying the win against Atletico because we don't know what the second leg holds in a bit.
Later.